His hands slid down my back, warm, firm. "Take a deep breath," he said, his voice low and deep. I obeyed, but what he did next took my breath away. He adjusted my hips. Slowly, his fingers lingered there, pressing with precision. And something more. My body reacted before my mind could catch up. A shiver, a sigh, a desire I hadn't felt in so long I almost didn't recognize it. When his chest brushed against mine, just for a second, I knew. If he moved one step closer, I wouldn't pull away. "Hello, my name is Rachel. I'm 39 years old, married, a mother, the perfect wife, in theory. Because in practice, I feel like the widow of a man who still sleeps beside me every night. Today, I'm going to tell you how a workout became a confession, how one touch became an addiction, and how, when he said, 'Relax your hips,' I relaxed everything. Except the guilt. Tell me in the comments, what did you feel reading my story? My husband doesn't touch me, doesn't hear me, just breathes beside me at night, as if we were sharing a bed with a worn-out pillow. How long has it been since he actually wanted me? I don't know, but my body misses it. Not just the pleasure, but the way someone looks at you, wants you, reminds you that you're still alive beneath this tired skin. That's why I went back to the gym, to pretend I could still be someone besides Robert's mom or Mark's wife. And that's where I met Liam, the trainer. 32, tan skin, athletic body, green eyes, rugged face, deep voice. The kind of man who should be banned from being a personal trainer. The kind who knows exactly where to touch and when to do it. All business until he looked me in the eyes. And when he did, he undressed me without a single move. He corrected my posture with his hands, firm, warm, precise. Every touch from him seemed to say, "I see what your husband forgot." And the more he looked at me, the more I forgot who I was. Sessions were 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I started making up reasons to go more. I'd show up early, stay late. I wasn't addicted to the workouts. I was addicted to him. "You're improving so fast," he said one day, half smiling, his hand resting on my waist. That day, I couldn't smile back. My body was hot, my chest racing, and the guilt starting to throb inside me. Every feeling went against what I was taught. This was wrong, immoral, unforgivable. I judged myself, cursed myself, demanded answers from myself, but I couldn't resist. I wanted more. So much more. These weren't just professional touches anymore. They held intention, desire, longing, but a part of me still doubted. Could that man truly want me? Every time he adjusted my form, his fingers slid a little lower, lingered a little longer than necessary, and I let him. I convinced myself it was all in my head, that I was just lonely, confused. But then came his eyes, fixed, dark, devouring me without hurry. In the gym mirror, I no longer just saw my body changing. I saw a woman coming back to life. I saw myself alive again. And that is what destroyed me. Because with every touch, part of me was drowning in shame, but another was begging for more. One day, he stood behind me, correcting a movement, his hand steady on my hip, his chest brushing against my back, his mouth nearly grazing my neck. "Exhale." Slowly, he whispered, but the air wouldn't leave me. My eyes closed on instinct. The heat rose up my legs, through my belly, across my face. I opened my eyes, and he was still there, so close that if I turned my head, our lips would meet. I wanted to turn, my body did, but my soul screamed not to. Still, My body betrayed me every second. That look in his eyes wasn't correcting anything anymore. It was asking. Silently, relentlessly. And I knew if he moved one step closer, I wouldn't say no. The storm came on a Friday. Literally, it was pouring outside. The gym was nearly empty. Just the two of us, and the muffled sound of the rain like the world had been muted. So I could hear only my heart. He stood behind me, helping me with a new exercise. His right hand firm on my lower back, his left gliding over my stomach. Too slowly to be just correction. "Breathe with me," he whispered, his lips brushing my ear. My skin tingled, my legs gave out. The bar hit the floor, and so did I. He crouched down immediately, concerned, but when our eyes met, no one spoke. Both of us were breathing fast, the silence thick. His eyes dropped to my lips, and mine were already parted, waiting for something I'd been denying for weeks. "I'm sorry," I whispered, but it wasn't regret. It was surrender. He placed his hand on my cheek, gently, as if asking permission for a crime I had already authorized with my eyes. And then he kissed me, slowly, firmly, deeply, like someone stepping into forbidden territory with no intention of leaving soon. I brought my hand to his neck, felt the heat of his skin, the tension in his muscles. I pulled him closer, not like someone falling, but like someone choosing to be lost. I traced my fingers across his chest, under his shirt. His skin was burning. He let out a muffled sigh, and I felt powerful again. The kiss deepened. My hands explored him as if memorizing a forgotten map. Every touch said, "I want this too. I'm still here." He pressed me against the locker room wall, held the back of my neck tightly, kissed my neck like someone who knew exactly where pain lived and how to heal it. And I kissed him back, ran my lips along his jawline, gripped his hips with both hands, as if to say, "If this is sin, then consume me entirely." This wasn't just betrayal, it was liberation. A scream I'd held back for years that now became breath, sweat, and surrender. I wanted to be touched. But more than that, I wanted to be chosen. And in that moment, I chose too. For the first time in a long time, I felt alive. That night, I didn't sleep, didn't even try. The sheets felt too rough, the air too heavy. Mark breathed beside me as if nothing had happened. But inside me, everything had changed. I closed my eyes, and the memory returned completely. The touch, the scent, his voice in my ear whispering, "It's okay, calm down," when nothing was okay. I showered 3 times. The hot water scorched my skin, but it didn't wash away the fire that still burned inside. I felt shame, guilt, but what hurt the most was the longing for his touch, the way he looked at me, like he saw every part of me, even the parts Mark had ignored for years. The next morning, I set the table as always, poured milk for Robert, laid out toast for Mark, everything the same on the outside. But inside, I wasn't the same woman anymore. When Mark kissed my forehead, like someone greeting a sister, my body recoiled. And in that moment, I knew I had crossed a line, not just in that locker room, but inside myself. And the worst part? I didn't want to go back. I tried to run. Didn't go to the gym for a week, told myself I just needed rest. But it was a lie. It was fear. Fear. Fear of facing what I'd done. Fear of facing what I still wanted to do. I went through my days distracted, but never disconnected. Every buzz from my phone made my heart jump. And when he finally texted, "Did you disappear on me?" My heart skipped a beat. I deleted it. ignored it, forced myself to remember I was a wife, a mother, a respectable woman. But every time I remembered his mouth on my neck, every flash of that hungry stare, my body refused to obey my conscience. That Friday, I found the courage to go back, hair tied up, loose t-shirt, old leggings. I wanted to disappear, be invisible. But he saw me the moment I walked in. He didn't smile, just nodded. But his eyes, they said everything. "Want to warm up on the treadmill or go straight to training?" he asked. His voice was neutral, but his hands, when they touched my arm, burned like hot metal. During the session, we avoided the mirror, but the reflection was there in every breath, in every silence, in every breathe deeper, he whispered between sets. At one point, he came up behind me again, hand on my waist, but this time, too firm. "I missed you," he said, almost breathless. My skin shivered. I wanted to scream, "Stop," but my mouth stayed shut, and my body leaned back, gently resting against his chest. For a moment, we were back. That moment was enough to wreck everything all over again. It was after the session. The locker room was empty. He waited at the door, like he already knew. "We need to talk," he said, but that wasn't what he really wanted, and neither did I. I tried to walk past him, but he held my arm, firm, careful, longing. "I think about you every day, Liam. Please," I whispered, but my voice was weak, unconvincing. He stepped closer, eyes locked on mine, and I didn't step back. "Are you going to send me away?" he asked, breath already uneven. I should have. That would have been right, fair. But right never made me feel alive. I placed both hands on his chest. His skin was hot, his heart racing. "We shouldn't, but we want to," he finished. And then he kissed me, fast, desperate, hungry. He pressed me against the cold locker room wall. My hands pulled his shirt up. His mouth traveled down my neck, across my shoulders, through the ruins of my certainty. It was wrong, but my body only knew how to say, "Stay." Breath became moan, hands became confession, and time stopped. I gave him everything. No promises, no protection, only desire. And when it ended, still trembling, still breathless, I leaned my forehead against his chest. And for the first time, I cried. It wasn't guilt, it was fear. Fear of wanting that again, because now I knew I wouldn't be able to stop. There's no pain worse than craving someone when you already have everything. But sometimes loneliness speaks louder than vows, and the right touch at the wrong time can become a prison you never want to escape. If you've ever felt this way, don't judge yourself. Not every mistake comes from cruelty. Some are born from being alone. Sometimes all we really need is to know we weren't feeling it alone.